Hello and welcome back. So here's our second pose of this series, and if you remember from last time, you can go check out those videos if you haven't seen them yet. Our second week was about soothing, right? So I want to give you something else that's soothing, but that is a little bit different. So today we're going to do a standing forward fold. We did two different forward bends last series, and this one is called Uttanasana, or standing forward bend. Now I'm going to show you a variation with the hips at the wall. It makes it a little bit easier, and I'm going to show you just how to kind of use support for your upper body so that you can make this accessible to the people you're working with. Those of you who are yoga teachers, just know, in general, these forward bends are soothing on the nervous system. However, if someone experiences them as agitating, you don't want to encourage those long holds like we've talked about. So that might be like a rajasic depression or something, and that's more complicated, not something we're going to get into here. But for many people, this forward bend, you kind of come out of a forward bend and you're like, okay, I feel a little bit more calm or clear. So those are the results that you're looking for. All right, so if you are trying this out for yourself, have like a chair or some kind of support handy, try to get near a wall, and we'll get going. Here is our standing forward bend, Uttanasana. So take yourself over. If you have a mat perpendicular to a wall, have any support nearby. I'm using this lovely purple ball. In this pose, you'll see it practiced in yoga classes as part of a sun salutation. We inhale, reach up, we exhale, fold forward. But what I want you to do for this, and we're just taking the pose on its own, is actually sit back and lean against the wall. You can have your knees softly bent to start. That's a little bit easier on the hamstring. Now we're not doing a chair sit. We already did chair pose, right? So this time, feet about hip distance apart, maybe even a tiny bit wider. And just turn your feet until the outer edges are parallel. So it's like a tiny bit of the toes turned in, but just till the outer edges of the feet are parallel. Now I'll have you, and you can have clients, take your hands onto your thighs. This is a way that we can also kind of ground and resource. Again, unless it's triggering, but that's for you to know and figure out and communicate with the people you're working with. But palms down on your thighs, kind of a grounding, centering action. And then we'll inhale just to find some length in the spine, and as we exhale, start to crawl your hands down your legs. Hands on thighs, skip the knees. If you're flexible enough, you take your hands to your shins. Here's where the support comes in handy. So if you have a chair or a ball, then you can kind of rest into that. It's really opening up the backs of the legs. So anyone practicing this pose might feel, obviously, the hamstrings, the back of the thigh, the area behind the knee, or even the back of the calf. Now, if you're in this shape and you can kind of rest your head here and you're not feeling much opening in your legs, then you just remove that support and then take your hands a little lower, maybe down to the shins or to the floor. If you're feeling this flexible, if this is okay, let the head drop. Even if you're on the ball, let the back of the neck relax by resting the head. Now, if someone doesn't want to look down, they can always look to the side. That way you can still see the room, right? And then to come out, you either use your hands on the prop, on the ball, or on the chair. Something more stable is better for most people. This is just what I have here, right? Then you start to walk your hands up. And then back against the wall can actually, even though that phrase is my back's up against the wall, sometimes that can feel really like grounding, supportive. You can see the whole room. There's like a sense of like leaning and being held. So even holding here for a moment can be good. One other thing I'll say about this, so that's our pose, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Knees bent is easier on the hamstrings, so if someone's feeling like, oh my God, my hamstrings are screaming at me, have them bend the knees, have them have some more support. You can experiment with this in your own body so you know how it feels. Definitely practice these things for yourself before you go telling them to other people, okay? And if you have limitations and they're not working in your body, just get really curious. Maybe work with a friend or a family member or something so you get a sense of it before you're doing it with clients. And those of you that are yoga teachers, just know that if your class is a little bit manic, maybe it's a full moon and it's Halloween or something, you can hold them in a forward bend to bring a little more of that sense of soothing in general, okay? There was one more thing I wanted to say. So 24-hour bend. I can't think of it right now. Maybe I already said it. Okay, so if you have questions, please feel free to send me an email. Share this with your friends. Share this with people who are helping people through yoga. And oh, the other thing I want to say is just to make sure to communicate with your client. I think I've said that a few times. So make sure you're asking, like, how does this feel? And do you need some more support? The bent knees is always an option. Okay? Bye, I'll see you next time.